everyone, welcome to the fresh video cast episode of My Emotions Matter. And a few weeks back, I was having this conversation with my friend. She is a mother of two twins. Though I'm not married and I do not have kids, I have friends of all age groups. And this mother, when I was talking to her, she was talking about her lockdown experiences, and she was telling me about how it might be a very joyful experience to her children because they are at home all the time. But at the same time, it gets very stressed out for her and she sometimes gets tired. That was her honest answer when I talked to her about her lockdown experiences. And when I listened to that answer, my first hint was like, okay, why is she feeling this way? Because I'm not a mother. That was my initial reaction. But then later on, I realized that apart from being a parent, the lady is also a human. And when it comes to parents at this point of time, because all of us are in quarantine, all of us have been locked down, students are having online classes, parents have multiple responsibilities to take care of. They have their family members to take care of, they have their child to take care of, they might have their own stuffs to do, and they have a lot of self care that needs to be done as well. So parents are humans too, and we believe that the emotions of our parents matter. And this is the reason why we'll be talking about parenthood during quarantine today. In today's episode, we have a very beautiful guest with us, Ms. Shalini Agrawal. She is this powerful homemaker and the mother of a 8-year child, Rhythm. And I have always noticed one thing in her Instagram, which was that she always manages to keep her child engaged. I don't know how she does that. I don't know whether she get the superpower to do that from, but that's something that I've noticed, and I thought that it would be great to have her for this episode. So welcome to our episode, Shalini.
Thank you so much for having me, Mahima. Thank you so much.
Okay. When your child is at home all the time, parents get
Yeah.
little time to themselves, and this could lead to them feeling very stressed out at certain point in time. So have you ever felt extremely stressed or burnt out during any such situation, when your child was with you all the time? How did you deal with this experience?
Yeah, definitely. It's in human nature. See, everyone want their space with every relations, whatever relation it is, maybe wife, whatever, being a daughter-in-law or a mother. So a mother, she wants a space too. But yeah, for me, like I really believe that seeing your son or your kid smile makes you smile. So yeah, because it was my decision to grow him. Yeah, definitely. I mean, no, sometimes it is like frustrating, sometimes it is like you just want to leave everything and go. But no, yeah, it's not that easy. It's not easy because you want your son to grow in a good manners, in a good way. So no, I mean, I smile when my son smiles. That's it.
So how do you deal with situations when you're feeling extremely stressed or tired? Like, what do you do to deal with such situations?
Yeah, it's not so difficult because I live in a joint family, so I have people around me. So whenever I'm stressed or frustrated, if I'm not well, so I have people around me who takes good care of my son. His grandparents, his uncles, even his dad. If I'm not well, his dad take him office. Yeah, during this lockdown, it's like my son is like less with me. He's having more fun with his uncles and his grandparents. So yeah, it's not so difficult. I rest. I have my own time. I sleep 1-2 hours a day in afternoon. So it's not so difficult for me because I have a very supporting in-laws. So yeah,
So
that
I
is.
think one important takeaway that I take from Shalini's answer is that it is very important to have a very good support system around you when you're taking care of your child. So because
Yes.
Shalini has a good support system around her, and on top of that, her husband because in our context we often forget that a father is also bears equal responsibility of bearing a child as a mother. And because Shalini's husband is very supportive, it is very easy for her to take care of her child even during this lockdown. And that is something I think that should be highlighted, and that is something that so many families and so many fathers in our a societal context should learn.
I just wanted to say that, see, we have a timing. We've set a time, me and my husband, that since like my son, he have a classes from 10 to 12. So till 2 o'clock, my husband is at home. So he gives time to my son. Till then, I finish all my home like household things. I do everything. So yeah, but after 2, it's my responsibility to look after him, what he eats, what he likes, what he dislikes. And yes, I always I give an hour to him to like make his study, like whatever online classes he've done. So I make him revise all those for maybe half hour or maybe a 1 hour. That's it. So it's a partnership job. See, it's a partnership job.
So I think that again is a very important takeaway that I take from her answer, is that she believes that parents are partners in raising their child, and both the parents should take divide their responsibilities, like when taking care of their child. So that leaves with us a little bit of space and time for each parent to take care of his or her needs as well. So when I deal with kids, sometimes I love kids, but sometimes when they don't listen to me, I tend to get very annoyed and frustrated. And I'm sure that that happens to you as well. You might also feel annoyed and frustrated when your child does not listen to you. So how do you deal with such emotions?
See, it's not so difficult, because what I've learned, see, even we were kids, we were even messy with our parents. We were not less, but yeah, that time it was like they didn't have any, any, helps our parents. But now we have so many facilities in our generation. So yes, my son, he is sometimes so stubborn and irritates me. I just ignore him. That's my rule. I just ignore him. I'm like, stay where you are. I'm going in my room. I'm not even asking you to eat, because when he's hungry, he'll come to me and ask, okay, mama, please, I'm hungry. Whether it's 2 to 3 hours, I just ignore him because he irritated me for so long. So yeah, it's important not to get so much into them. If he's eating, let him. If he's not eating, just don't force him, because maybe he's not. We can't force anyone. We can't force anyone to do this or that. Even we don't like anyone forcing us that you should eat this, you should do this. Yeah, so I believe that, yeah, in every human nature or kids, they get frustrated. I mean, even kids get frustrated. So if I do something like that, my son is going to learn the same thing. If I get frustrated, if I get irritated, he will learn same thing. So he will also, if I want him to do something, he will obviously return me back. Ki, mama, I'm irritated, I'm frustrated, I don't want to do this. No, but when he does that, I just ignore him. I just give him his space so that he cool down, and he knows that, yeah, whatever happens, his mother is there. Whether he's hungry, he needs his games, he needs whatever, I am there. He knows that. Whether it's 2 to 3 hours, he's hungry, whatever. So yeah, it's not so difficult. I just ignore.
So
I just
I think
ignore him.
one very powerful learning that I take from your answer is that when you feel frustrated or when you feel angry, it's very important to take your own space as well as to give your child his or her space. Because as parents, sometimes that instinct can be that maybe I have to be with my child all the time to take care of him. But I think it's very important to be aware and detach yourself from the situation when you feel like things are going out of your hand, or when you feel frustrated, angry. It's important to detach yourself from that situation, and it is equally important to give your child the space to just be himself. And also, I think the other power that you have with yourself is that of empathy. So yeah, Shalini, what were you saying?
Yeah, I was saying, if I get frustrated, if I get, you know, irritated with my son, in anger I may do anything with him. So I have learned, no, you shouldn't get frustrated, because when I just gave a birth to my son, 1 2 years starting was very difficult, because it was a new learn for me too. So right now it's like, yeah, I've learned keep being anger on our kid is not a solution. You should just know how to let go, because even they are learning new things in their life. whatever they learn whatever they learn it from their parents or the family members, in the house. So that is the thing.
uh, I think that again is very important. Like in the initial phases of being a parent, it is definitely going to be difficult. And I think one very important takeaway that I have from your answer is that when you're angry, yet you choose to just be there with your child, you might end up doing things that you would later regret. So rather than, just being there, you try to detach yourself from that situation, you try to take that pause, and then you let it go. And you also empathize with your child because you believe that when we were kids we were equally messy. So putting ourselves in our child's shoes and looking at things from their viewpoint also really helps you calm down. And I'm so proud of the power of empathy that you hold with yourself. So Shalini, right now in Kathmandu, because most of the schools have transitioned into this online education system, like the role of parents has increased. Parents need to supervise their child, they need to take care of their child's education, they need to take care of their child's online classes routine. So how have you been dealing with such responsibilities?
See, before this online classes started, it was really, we didn't have any, basic. I mean, what can I say is, uh, there was no rules. There were no, like, what time he wakes up. It really didn't matter. But yes, since online classes started, yeah, I have to finish my all work early in the morning, so that I make him eat and get showered on time, so that he don't get late to his classes. So yes, by 10 his online classes starts, so I prepare food, yeah, with help of my mother-in-law, and my helpers, yeah, I finish it by like 8:30, my breakfast. Yeah, I finish it by 8:30 and make him ready, and I make him do homework that time only. And yeah, till 9:30, 9:45 he's in his like table for classes. Yeah, then this is the, yeah, from 10 to 11 he have one class. Then after that I prepare in that class, first class time, I prepare him a fruit and juice, so that as soon as he ends up his first class, I give him fruits and juice. So again his class starts by 12 o'clock, from 12 to 1 o'clock. So in that time also I start preparing lunch for him. So yeah, this is the thing. And then whole day, yeah, I give him his own time. I don't pressurize him like you should study, because this is not his age to get over pressured, you know. So yeah, after his classes he give himself a time. He plays around with his uncles, his grandparents. And yeah, we play in garden, we do even gardening. So yeah, after an evening 6 o'clock, again I make him sit and do his homework or revise whatever he learned for a day, so that he don't forget the next day if teachers ask him the question. So yeah, the whole day it goes like this when online classes started. Yeah.
So I think, one important learning that I have from your answer is that you have created this routine for your child. Even when
Yeah.
these online classes are going on, you have created a routine for your child and you make sure that you tweak your chores according to his routine. So I think that is where a parent's responsibility becomes crucial. And I think the other important takeaway that I have from your answer is that, when you're engaging your child, you make sure that you're not pressurizing your child to always study, because this is a time which is difficult for all of us. This quarantine has become difficult for all of us. So at this point of time, you do not pressurize him to, study all the time. You give him his space, you give him his time to do things that he finds joy in, and you've created a schedule for him. So I think that is something that I also take away, because as a person, as a professional working person, I think even I could create a routine for myself to make my life more organized. So
Yeah.
at this point of time, when students are like having online classes, one part that goes missing is social engagement. They're not getting a lot of time to interact with their peers, they're not getting a lot of time to interact with their friends, as a result of which social engagement is something which is missing out on. So how do you take care of these needs of your child, and how do you make sure that your child is entertained and engaged throughout the day?
Yeah, I really like this question. I even mentioned to you. Yeah, I really like this question. Yeah, that I make him. My son, he really loves cooking. I mean, he goes in a YouTube channel, and I'm not a cooking person. To be very honest, I'm not a cooking person. But my son, he goes in a YouTube channel, and he keeps saying, "Mama, make this. Mama, make this." So because of him, I get to learn, and I myself say him, come along with me and help me and learn. So I make him do cooking with me, and I say him to add salt, whatever it is, ingredients, whatever. So I just, he helps me while cooking. And yeah, we play, we make, his father and he, I don't think he misses friends, because we have members in our family. He have two young uncles who are more like friends to him. So I mean, he is more engaged to them. So it's not so difficult. He's been playing badminton with them, we are playing badminton with them, and we're doing gardening. And yeah, I even he likes, yeah, making TikTok, his new hobby, maybe his new interest. So we keep making TikTok. He like dancing and singing. So new varieties of activities are there, we keep doing it. So yeah, whole days go like this only. He actually, yeah, he doesn't miss, because online classes, he talks to his all his classmates. So he's friends with all of us here. So yeah, no,
So
it's
I
not so
think it's very important to be friends with your child, is something that I learned from your answer. Like in your case, all of your family members are trying to make sure that they are friends to your child and not only guardians. So because you guys are already playing the role of friends to your child, the social engagement which would otherwise go missing is has not been gone missing now. So your child is
yeah.
still socially engaged, and also you are aware as a parent of what your child likes and dislikes. So because you are aware, you're very aware of the fact that your child finds joy in cooking. You make sure that he gets to do more of that, whether it be by you asking him to help you in the kitchen, or whether it be by you letting him take the initiative to cook new dishes. So whether it be by those things, you make sure that your child's likings are acknowledged, and you make sure that you give space and time for your child to practice what he likes doing. So I think that's very important, and it's very very important to be friends to your child at this point of time, because being a friend to them can make your bond with them even stronger. So, having said that, how important do you think it is for children to learn social and emotional learning?
It is really important, see, because they're going to learn what the parents teach them, because they're not going to learn it from anywhere else, maybe from school or from their parents. So yes, it is very important to know the value. Yeah, it's very important, I guess, because if we parents teach them good things, they're going to learn good things. If we parents teach them bad things, they're going to learn bad things, because they're in a growing stage. Whatever we teach them, they're going to learn. So yeah, we can, yeah, we adults, we are sometimes harsh with each other, But when it comes to our kid, we slow down, so that no, he shouldn't learn these things. He shouldn't get harsh to anyone. He shouldn't. Yeah, sometimes it happens when he's also angry. Because staying at home since 1.5 month for kids, it's very difficult, right? But we teach him new things. He also, even, yeah, he keep asking about what is Ramayan, so we teach him what Ramayan is all about. He asks us about what happened, what is coronavirus, like what is COVID-19. So his father teach him what is COVID-19, so that he's aware of it. So when, yeah, even like he still remembers about the earthquake thing happened. He still remembers what happened. So he knows, he's learning everything. And uh, kids are learning, getting more like educations, whatever happening. Sometimes dengue is happening, sometimes lockdown is happening. So kids are being more matured, I guess, by day to day.
So I think one very important learning that I have from your answer is that kids, especially in our sociocultural context, are learning a lot. And I think we should appreciate them for that because they've been through many things, whether it be the
Yeah.
dengue spread that they have seen, whether it be the earthquake that they have seen, whether it be the lockdown phase that they are seeing. So because they are looking at so many things, they are already learning. And it is also very important to have conversations with your child. Like in your case, I think you guys are doing a great job talking about things like even coronavirus or COVID-19 with your son. Because, many times parents can feel very hesitant in having such conversations with their child. They might feel like, okay, I should not be talking about this topic to my child because this might get my child scared. But when you're doing so, when you're hiding things from your child, and if the child will not learn from you, they'll use some other mediums to learn it from. So I think it's very important to have conversations with your child. And yes, social and emotional learning for children is very important. And for all the parents out there who want to invest in the social and emotional learning of their child, My Emotions Matter is coming up with a mentorship program for school students, whereby we will be helping children through the process of social and emotional learning, and we'll be helping the students become more emotionally resilient. So if you want to know more about our services, you can please feel free to write to us. And thank you so much, Shalini, for your beautiful insights. I'm so proud of you, and I'm so proud of all the parents around the world who have taken the multiple roles of being a caretaker and doing so many things at this point of time, while having their child with them all the time. So thank you so much to all the parents around the world, and thank you so much, Shalini, for your wonderful time. Do you have anything else to say?
Well, and thank you so much for having me. I mean, it's a great experience. We really don't get chance to interact with such a beautiful people like you all. But yes, thank you so much. We got a chance. I mean, I got a chance in this, maybe such after 1.5 month. I really spoke up. It's about my son actually, and it's really a great thing. Yeah.
Thank you so much, and I hope we come out of this lockdown stronger and more emotionally resilient than ever. Until then, everyone, please stay safe, please stay protected, and take a baby step towards being emotional resilience one day at a time. Bye bye.